Yeah, hi students, good morning. Can you please confirm I'm audible or not? Online students.
Yes, audible.
Thanks for the confirmation. So, in the previous sessions, what we have discussed, I'm going to give you some brief introduction. I have explained about your trainer details. Your trainer name is Tirmalesh, and coming to my experience, I have 8+ years of experience, and also I'm currently working as a tech lead in the product-based company. And coming to my tech stack, I have worked with back-end technologies, front-end technologies, databases, and some of the cloud technologies, and some of the data structures whenever attending the interview. So these are the things I have learned and I have used in my experience. Okay. So in backend technologies, what are the backend technologies available in the Java? Okay. So core Java available, Java 8, J2W, Spring Boot, microservices. These are the backend technologies. Where we are going to use these backend technologies. So if we observe the full stack architecture, okay, whenever developing the project, okay, whenever developing the real-time projects, so mainly we are having two layers. Okay, mainly we are having two layers: front-end layer available, back-end layer available. Okay, so where we are going to use these back-end technologies: core Java, Java 8, J2W, Spring Boot microservices. For the back-end layer development purpose, we are going to use the back-end layer, back-end technologies. Core Java available, Java 8, J2W technology, Spring Boot and microservices. These are the back-end layer technologies. Okay, if you want to develop the back-end layer, we are going to use these technologies. And also we're having the front-end layer technologies, front-end technologies available, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, React, and Angular. So if you want to develop the front-end layer, we are going to use these front-end technologies. Okay, and also I'm going to teach the some of the database. Like I have learned some of the databases in my experience: MySQL database, Oracle database, MongoDB, PGSQL. Okay, these are the databases for storing the data permanently. Okay, so if you want to store the data permanently, we are going to use the databases. Okay, any one database we can use. Like yesterday I have explained, so we can use only one technology for the front end layer development. Here, this is the front end layer, right? This is the front end layer. This is the back end layer. This is the databases. No need to use all the technologies here. You can use only one technology for the front end layer development. Okay. So here also for the back end layer development purpose, in the real time, we are going to use the Spring Boot framework. For the front end layer, we can use the React. For the back end layer development purpose, we can use the Spring Boot. And for the data, for the storing of the data, we can use any one database here. Like for example, we can use the MySQL database. Okay, no need to use all the technologies. You can use any one technology. For story, for the front end layer development, we can use the React. For the back end layer development, we can use the Spring Boot. For the storing of the data permanently, we can use any one database. We can use MySQL database, or we can use Oracle, or we can use MongoDB or PGSQL. Any one database we can use. No need to use all the databases. Okay. Some of the projects they will use only one database. Some projects they will use multiple databases also. Based on their requirement, they will use the multiple databases. Okay. So here also I have used some of the, we can use front end as a React, back end as a Java. We can use MySQL as a database. We can use front end as a React, back end as a Python, and database is a Oracle. Okay, you can use any one database, and also we can use Oracle. Angular is a front end, and PHP is a back end, and PGSQL as a database. Okay, we can use any one. Okay, so how many possibilities there? That many possibilities we can use. Okay, for one project we can use React as a front end, Java as a back end, and MySQL is a database. Some of the projects we can use Angular is a front end, Java is a back end, okay, and MySQL as a database, okay, and also we can use Angular is a front end, Python is a back end, and Oracle as a database we can use, okay. So based on the requirement, we are going to use the different technologies, okay. who is going to discuss? We need to use only front end as a React, back end as a Java, database as a MySQL. Who is going to decide in the company? They are having the architect. Architect is going to decide which technologies we are going to use in the project. Okay. So based on the architect mindset, we are going to use the front end technologies, back end technologies, and databases. Okay. So like this, we are having some of the databases, and also we are having the cloud technologies. So as of my experience, I have worked on the AWS. Some projects I have worked on Azure also, but mainly, so I have worked AWS. Okay. So what is the use of AWS? Like if you want to set up the missions, okay, if you want to set up the missions, like I want to set up the Windows mission, I want to set up the like a Android mission, I want to set up the Linux missions. Okay, we can set up any kind of missions by using the EC2 mission. Okay, EC2 instance. Okay, this AWS is providing services in the online. Okay, AWS is providing services in the online. So this is the laptop, right? This is the laptop. So if you want to purchase the laptop, it will be like a 30,000 or 50,000 if you purchase the physical laptop. So my requirement is only 1 month. I want to use only 1 month. Instead of using only 1 month, I have 10 students, 10 students available, 10 laptops we require. So for example, we are taking 30,000. If you pay the 30,000, we are paying the 30,000 for the 10 students, but we are using only 1 month. So that's why how much amount we need to pay here? 3 lakhs amount we need to pay. Okay, but we are using only 1 month. After 1 month, we are not going to use those laptops. Okay, so that's why our money will be wasted when we purchase the physical laptops. That's why this AWS company, Azure company, GCP company is providing virtual laptops, not a physical laptops. Okay, so like we can purchase the Linux missions nothing but a computer nothing but a mission. Okay, so we can purchase the like a virtual laptops. Okay, in the online we can set up the any amount of missions. Okay, we are having the S3 bucket. If you want to store the binary data, okay, we are having the audio file, video file, right? For example, if you open the YouTube, okay, so we are having the multiple videos, right? So every day we are having the YouTube channel. That person is going to upload the videos. After uploading the videos, where this videos is storing? This videos is storing in the S3 bucket. Okay, so the company people are like a setup. They will set up the S3 bucket. In the S3 bucket, they will create some objects. Every video it is going to store into the objects format. Every video it is storing in the one object. Okay, so how many videos are storing? That many objects format is storing into the S3 bucket. S3 having the unlimited storage. S3 stands for simple storage service. We can store any amount of the data at any point of time. Okay, so all the binary data we are going to store. Binary data nothing but a files, different kinds of files, like a text files, PDF files, and documentation files, Excel file, photos are the files, photo files, and audio files, video files. Any kind of files we can store into the S3 bucket. And also we are having the RDS service. If you set up the data by using RDS service, we can set up the different kinds of database. Okay, in the real time, we are not going to download into our mission. Okay, for example, I am having the MySQL database. Okay, in my mission, in my computer, there is having some database. Okay, so this is the database I'm having, MySQL database. Okay, so currently it is running in my system. Okay, for example, my system is corrupted. Okay, my system is corrupted. I have stored multiple data, like a institute data I have stored into the database. My system is corrupted, our data will be lost, right? So we are not going to get the data, that lost data, right? So that's why the setting the database in the local machine is not recommended. Okay, and also this database also not secure. Okay, if you know others, my password, they will hack our laptop also. Okay, so that's why the database is set up in local machine is not recommended. And also, so like whenever some person is accessing the data from our mission, our machine should be available 24/7. Then only that person can access. If you don't have the power in my laptop, that person not able to access. So those are some kind of problems we are getting if you set up the database in our local machine. But in the real time, so they will set up the databases in the AWS, or Azure or GCP. In the AWS, this AWS is company is providing RDS service for providing the for setting the databases. We can set up any kind of database. Okay, we can set up MySQL database, Oracle database, PGSQL, SQL Server, any kind of databases we can set up in the cloud. Okay, and also, yeah, we're having the AI technologies also here. So every company they are using the GitHub Copilot, guys. This GitHub Copilot we can integrate in the IntelliJ. We can integrate in the VS Code. Okay, so IntelliJ is used for the specific to Java. Okay, other platforms not able to use. And VS Code is used for the multi-source. We can use the Java. We can use for the Python. We can use it for the front-end technologies. We can use any technologies for the like a development purpose. Okay. I think in my company they are discussing IntelliJ also. They are going to remove like whenever developing the Java. If you want to develop the Java projects, mainly we are going to use the 4 tools: Eclipse IDE, and STS IDE. Okay, and also IntelliJ IDE, and also we are going to use the VS Code. Okay, these are the 4 tools we are going to use for the Java program development purpose. Okay, so already they removed the Eclipse IDE, STS IDE. Okay, not removed. Currently, we are not using more Eclipse IDE and STS IDE. Why? Because this Eclipse IDE and STS IDE is not supporting for the AI features. Why? Because everyone they are using the AI. If you don't use the AI, so our project development will take lot of time. So that's why nowadays we are not using in the project development Eclipse IDE and STS IDE. For the practice purpose, we can use the Eclipse IDE, STS IDE. But if you want to use the AI features, we are not able to use for Eclipse and STS. Okay, so we can integrate the AI features in the IntelliJ and VS Code. Okay, and also in my company yesterday they discussed like a IntelliJ IDE also not going to use more days. Why? Because the IntelliJ IDE is providing some vulnerabilities, some issues to the project. Okay, so that's why we are not going to use more days for this IntelliJ IDE. And also it is going to support only for the Java development purpose. Okay, so that's why it is a specific to Java. So next feature will be available in the VS Code. Many persons are going to use for the VS Code only. Okay, so like this we're having for the project development tools. And also in the Java full stack program, I have divided 5 modules. Okay, in the module 1, I'm going to cover the backend technologies. In the module 2, I'm going to cover the front-end technologies. Okay, in the front-end technologies, what are the HTML available, CSS available, Bootstrap available, JavaScript. Right? So these are the basic technology. First of all, what is HTML? Why we are going to use the HTML? Okay, so HTML is it is a body, guys. Okay, we're like whenever constructing the building, it is like a building. So if you see some picture, you can easily understand what happened. Okay, so I'm opening HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Yeah. So if you observe this picture, if you observe this picture, how the HTML is available, how the CSS is available, how the JavaScript available, you can easily understand. HTML is like a body, guys, only bones available. Okay. If you want to develop the body of the application, body of the front end application, we are going to use the HTML. Okay, by using the HTML, we can develop only static pages. Okay, what is the static page here? If you open the Wikipedia developed only for the by using HTML, guys. Okay. Yeah. So this is the static page, guys. What is the static page here? Static page means the content will not be changed page to page. Okay, fixed content. The content will not change in the future. If you open this page in the another page also, it is not going to change. If you open, like I am opening multiple times, this page and this page. If you switch to the other page, is this any changes available? For example, I will open the Flipkart application. Okay, here the page is different. I will open this page in the different page. Okay, so if you open the home page, Amazon.in. Otherwise, simply you can understand here. For example, like this is the dynamic page. Okay, HTML is a static page. Our YouTube channel is the dynamic page. Why this is the dynamic page? Why? Because if you open multiple times, I'm opening another time. Okay. See here, this page content is different. This page content is different. For example, if you open www.youtube.com, in your mobile or your laptop, so the page will be different. The content will be different. Okay, so it is called as a dynamic content. Okay, so by using the HTML, we can develop the static pages, not the dynamic pages. This is the dynamic pages. These are the dynamic pages. The content will be changed to the page to page. Okay, page to page or user to user. So that is called as a dynamic pages. Okay, so if you see this one, Wikipedia. So if you open this Wikipedia in your mobile, the content will not be changed. The content will not be changed. The content will be same for the user to user. For example, so if you see here, I'm opening the Java version history. So this is the Wikipedia. If you open multiple times also, the content will not be changed. Here this content is same, this content is also same. If you open another time also, the content will not be changed. Okay, the data will not be changed. Here same data available, here also same data available, here also same data, the content will not be changed. So that is called as static pages. Fixed data, that is called as static pages. If you want to develop the static pages, we are going to use the HTML. Okay, by using the HTML, we can develop the static pages next. Okay, by using the HTML, we can develop the static pages. See here also only the content is available, only body available. Okay, if you want to develop the body of the application, body of the front end application, we can use the HTML. And also after body is completed, I want to provide some colors. Okay, I want to provide some colors, then we can use the CSS. CSS stands for the cascading style sheet. If you want to apply the colors to the body, we can use the CSS. Okay, and also we are having the body. Okay, we are ready with the body, ready with the colors. After that, if you want to provide the actions, if you want to move the legs, if you want to beat other person, so like if you want to provide some action for the body, then we can use the JavaScript. Okay, it is a body. If you want to apply the colors, we can use the CSS. If you want to provide some actions, okay, some movements, then we can use the JavaScript. So these are the difference. Okay, these are the difference for the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. Okay, and also we're having the Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a library, guys. Okay, here what are the HTML, CSS, JavaScript available. So if you use these technologies, we need to write everything manually. But there is having ready-made, like a ready-made content is available. That ready-made content we are going to use the Bootstrap, and also by using Bootstrap, we can develop the user-friendly applications. Okay, desktop-friendly application. So what is the user-friendly? What is the desktop-friendly here? We will see. Okay, for example, we are having the Flipkart application. Okay, we are having the Flipkart application. If you see here, I am minimizing this Flipkart application. Automatically, it is adjusting. See here, based on the size, it is adjusting. See here, based on the size, it is adjusting. It is auto adjustable. Auto adjustable. Okay, by using the like internally, it is using the Bootstrap for the adjustment purpose. Okay, if you use another technologies, we are not good. It is not auto adjustable. If you use the Bootstrap, automatically adjust the data based on the content. Okay, so like we can develop the like a device friendly application. For example, if you open this Flipkart application in the mobile, the size will be different. If you open this application, Flipkart application in the like a Apple mobile, the size will be different. Okay, desktop to desktop, the size will be different. Okay, so in that scenario, it is auto adjustable. Okay, so if you want to develop the adjustable feature, and also it is providing multiple libraries. Okay, Bootstrap is providing the multiple libraries. Here Bootstrap, like we can use simply the JavaScript. Everything we need to write manually. If you use the Bootstrap, it is very simple. Okay, we can easily apply the any kind of colors. For example, if we see, okay, if you want to develop the table, we are having the data, student data available or college data available. If you want to apply the tables, like just we are going to use that table. So if you see here, want to develop the table for the data, just we are going to use the class equal to table. Okay, if you want to apply the stripe, some lines available, right? If you want to get the lines, previously the lines is not available. So here having some lines. If you want to use the lines, we are going to use the table stripe, class equal to table stripe. So we are not going to develop entire code, just we are going to use the here. So this is the Bootstrap class equal to table. Automatically we are going to get the table. Okay, for example, if you remove the class equal to table, just I am removing this one. So how the data will be available, we will see. Here, the data is not arranging properly. The data is not arranging properly. So if you apply class equal to table, automatically see here, class equal to table. So automatically the content is adjustable and it is coming into the table format. Okay, just I am applying class equal to table, automatically it is applying. But if you want to use in this format by using HTML and CSS, we need to write lot of content. Okay, so like this we are having the Bootstrap. So these are the class. This Bootstrap is providing the multiple classes based on the requirement. We are going to use this one, and also we are having the alerts, Jumbotron buttons available. For example, if you are having the buttons, okay, this is the different kinds of button. Okay, if you click the buttons, it is going to perform some action. Okay, see here, this is the Bootstrap. This Bootstrap is providing some of the classes. Class equal to button default. By default, if you want to keep some button, we can use this one. For example, I want to provide the primary having the blue color. Success here, based on the class name, it is going to give the different kinds of colors. Okay, so but like a button primary means we are going to go to the blue color. If you give the success means green color. Okay, based on the class name, it is going to give the different colors. Okay, these are the colors. Okay, so like this, we're having the bootstrap. We will see in the future. Okay, you can simply learn the bootstrap if you learn the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, and also we're having the React and Angular. This React and Angular having the lot of demand in the market. Why this Angular and React having the lot of demand in the market? Why? Because if you go to the company, you can ask the other person, like our team member. So, which technologies in our project we are using for front end layer development purpose? They will tell like a React or Angular only. Okay, so that much demand is for the Angular and React. Okay, and also this React is developed by Facebook company. React is developed by Facebook company. Facebook company is giving the guarantee for the front end layer development. For example, if you are facing any issue in the React, okay, if you are facing any issue in the React library, so they are going to fix quickly, and there is having the lot of support. Backbone support is available. That's why multiple companies they are using the React and Angular. Okay, and also we're having another technologies also for the front end layer development purpose, but React is developed by Facebook company. Okay, there is having more background support, so that's why they're using the React. And also we're having the Angular is developed by Google company. So this company is also giving more support for the customers. Okay, more support it is giving. Actually, React is developed by Facebook development purpose. Okay, we are having Facebook, right? This Facebook is internally uses the React only. Okay, for their development purpose, they are using the React. But other companies also using the React. Okay, so that's why all the features who are having another projects, okay, other companies, those companies are not going to use all the features. Okay, for the Facebook company purpose, they develop the React. So that's why all the features we are not going to get. So that's why different kinds of libraries they are going to develop. They are going to use in their projects. In the future, you are going to understand that one. Okay, as of now, you need to remember React is developed by Facebook company and Angular is developed by Google company. So they are giving more support for these two technologies. That's why there is like a multiple projects were in the React and Angular. Okay, so if you want to learn the React and Angular, first we need to understand the basic technologies. Then only can easily understand React and Angular. Okay, in the module 3, I am going to cover the real-time projects and real-time tools. Okay, why I am going to cover the real-time projects and real-time tools? Why? Because if you learn only course content here, okay, if you learn only course, so that is not useful, right? So if you go to the company, if you want to attend as a fresher or experienced person, so they will ask like a multiple times. For the experienced person, they will ask like a in the core Java there is having the arrays concept, there is having the collections. Okay, in the collections there is having the array list available, linked list available. When you are going to use the array list, when you are going to use the linked list, and also which type of collections you are using in your project, right? So whenever using the array list and linked list, which one is better? Which one is better? When we are going to use the array list, when we are going to use the linked list. Okay, so if you develop project, if you understand the array list and linked list, then only you can tell the answer. Okay, if you want to if you understand the array list and linked list, then only you can answer. Otherwise, you are not able to answer. Okay, so that's why project development is very important. So that's why whenever attending the interview, they will ask like a in your like a like after college is completed, did you done any projects in your like you are having some time, right, after college, or in your college you did any projects? So like that they will ask. If you are develop some of the projects means they will ask related to that project. Okay, if you perfect in this project, you can explain any kind of topic. Okay, and also I'm going to cover the 20 plus real-time tools. Okay, these real-time tools are very important for the fresher and experience. Why? Because if you go to the company every day, we are going to work in the real-time tools only. Okay, so what are the different types of tools available here? Like a GitHub available. Okay, GitHub. Alternatively, Bitbucket, okay, GitHub available, Bitbucket available. So like this, we are having the alternatively other tools. As of now, you will see the GitHub available, and also we are having the Jira. Okay, every day we are going to work in this one, in this tool space. Jira available, Postman available, okay, and Docker available, Kubernetes available. We can simply call as K8s. Okay, GitHub available, Jira available, Postman, Docker, Kubernetes, Kafka. Okay, so Redis available. Okay, and also we're having the JMeter, and also we're having the JUnit, and also we're having the logging. So like this, we are going to cover. I'm going to cover the 20 plus tools. Okay. So if you understand now these tools, you can easily work in the company. Okay. No need to take help from the your seniors. Okay. Directly you can go to the company. You can work in the company. Okay. So like you are having, okay. So you are not going to face any issues in the company if you learn here. Okay. So that's why I'm like my students is not going to get trouble whenever entering into the company. That's why I'm teaching here only. Okay, you are going to handle as a senior member in the whenever getting the job in the company. So that's why I'm teaching here itself only. Okay, so like in the module 3, I'm going to cover the real-time projects and real-time tools. Okay, so first of all, what is GitHub, what is Jira, what is Postman? I will explain few tools, then we will see the remaining tools in whenever I explain. We are having the GitHub, right? Every day we are going to work on the GitHub. Here for our practice purpose also we can use, and also for company projects purpose also we can use the GitHub. Okay, if you open the GitHub here, okay, I'm having my GitHub account here, so you can create your GitHub account also. It is very important. Okay, after practice is completed, you need to store your code into the GitHub. Why? Because if we lost our laptop, okay, if you lost our computer, so that code will be available in the cloud. Okay, so you can log into the account, you can see the in the GitHub. Okay, for example, I'm opening my account here. Yeah, this is my account. So I have learned many technologies, and I have used multiple technologies in my projects. Okay, whenever taking some trainings, okay, whenever taking some trainings, whenever teaching some trainings, I have practiced multiple things, and I have stored into the GitHub. Okay, so actually this is like a 5 years back or 6 years back. I have practiced. Still, it is available. How it is available? So GitHub is providing the some storage. You can store any amount of data, unlimited data. You can store any amount of data. So for example, if we lost our laptop also, just to open the GitHub account in our other laptops, you can see our code also. For example, if you see the movie project, okay, this is the code available whenever developing the movies application. See here, when we are push this code, whenever we keep this code, everything is available. See here, 1 year back I have pushed the code. Here, last year I have pushed. Okay, last year I have developed some movie projects and I have pushed it here. Okay, like this. For example, if you practice something, okay. So and also we're having the our okay, we are having the our institute application, right? I have developed my institute application. Like if you open, okay, so this is the front end. I have developed the back end also. That code is I have stored into the GitHub. Okay, if you open the GitHub, okay, so this is the code I have written for the back end layer development purpose. Here, so if you open src main Java, so these many packages available. Okay, if you open the config, this many classes available. Okay, so this is the backend technologies. That is the Spring Boot I'm using here for the backend layer development. So I have developed the project. I have pushed into the GitHub. So you can use this your project, like my project. You are also can use. Okay, others can also use. Like there is having the two types of repository. Repository nothing but some space. We need to create the repository. We need to keep our project in the repository. Okay, so there is having two types of repository: public repository available, private repository available. Private means we can use ourselves only, not other person not able to use. Public repository means other persons also can use. Okay, so some of the public repository available, some of the private repository available. Two types of repository available. If we keep our repository as a private, other person not able to access. If we keep repository as a private, like if we keep our repository as a public, other persons also can access. Okay, if you see here, for example, I'm creating some one repository, you can easily understand. Okay, like this, we are having the profile. You can keep your profile also. Okay, so this is the repository section. Click on new. So just we need to give the repository. You can give any name. So Java full stack. I'm giving Java full stack. Okay, the name should be unique. So previously we don't use the previous usernames. We are not able to use here. Okay, Java full stack I have given. After that, so if you see here, directly we can create the project. Otherwise, here the choose visibility. Do you want to keep as a private or do you want to keep as a public here? Okay, so public, see here, we are having two types of repository: public repository available, private repository available. Okay, but private repositories are the limited. We can create limited. We are not going to create more private repository. So but public repository we can create unlimited number. Okay, so direct by default it is created, but by default it is select the public one. So just to create the repository, just to create the repository. So this is like a folder in the, like this is folder in the our local machine. In this folder we can store our code. Okay, so but in the company it is a repository. In this repository we can keep our code, we can push our code. Okay, not going to keep, we are going to push all the commands available here. Directly we can use these commands, we can push our code. After developing some of the coding, like after developing some projects we'll keep, and also after practicing the coding also we can push our code into the GitHub. Okay, this GitHub account is very important. They will see what kind of things you are practiced. Like whenever attending the interviews, you need to keep this GitHub URL in the resume. Okay, so it is very important. They will see our GitHub repository also, what are the kinds of projects they develop. They will review the our repository. Okay, so that's why it is very important. So as a fresher, as an experienced person, this account is very important. Okay, first you should create the account from tomorrow onwards. Okay, so this is one point. And also we're having the Jira. Okay, in the companies we are going to use the Jira. What is the Jira here? Jira is nothing but a work assignee software. If you go to the company, every day we are going to work, right? So how we are going to get the task? How we are going to get the work? So in the Jira, like a, for example, in the company actually we are having the multiple person, like a team lead available, okay, and manager available, team lead available, manager available, and also scrum master available. Okay, team lead is there, team lead, manager, scrum master, tech lead available. Okay, tech lead available. So like this we're having multiple members in the company. Okay, team lead available, manager available, scrum master available, tech lead available. Okay, like this multiple persons available. Okay, so in the company sometimes team lead is going to create the ticket. So in the Jira they will create the ticket. Okay, for example, simply we're having the, we're getting the, so if you open any website, there is having the login option, right? So for example, if you open our website, Okay, so this is our website. Okay, so if you open this project, if you open this project, if you open this website, we're getting the login option, sign up option, right? We can log into the application, we can sign up the application. Okay, and also we can click the. Okay, so we're having two features, guys. We can sign up the project, we can sign up the application, we can register the application. Sign up means registration. Okay, so for example, so in my project I'm getting the sign up functionality, create like a registration functionality. Okay, so for this purpose, for this development purpose, they will create one ticket. Okay, our team lead is going to create the ticket. Sometimes we also create the ticket. Okay, like some companies our team lead is not available, in that time we need to create the ticket. Okay, if you're having the access to create the ticket, we need to create the ticket. So to create the registration functionality. Okay, so first we are going to get the ticket. After that, so there is having the three states, guys. Yeah, so first we will get the task as a Jira number. Okay, they will give the Jira, for example, so triple T, I'm getting the Jira 101. Okay, the Jira number is triple T 101, the Jira number. So they will give this Jira number. Then if we click this one, so the content is available. So what is the, whenever developing the registration functionality or create account functionality, so what is the first column? Okay, what is the first box? What is the second box? What is the third box? What is the fourth box? Everything they will give in detail. Okay, so and also there is having the password and confirm password. Password having the, whenever entering and whenever typing some content, it is hiding. See here, it is a hidden format. See here, if you open like this, it will be open. If you typing like this, if you click like this, it is a hidden format. Okay, so like this, everything like if they will explain in detail in the Jira, and we need to open the Jira. First, we need to keep in the, that Jira is available. Whenever getting the Jira, that Jira available in the to do status. Okay, to do status available. Whenever we open the Jira, that Jira is available in the to do status. Okay, so whenever we start the work, when we started the work, after getting the Jira, okay, in the Jira, simply, yeah. So it is available in the to do status. When we start the work, we need to keep in the in progress. Okay, so initially, whenever create the Jira ticket is available in the to do status. Okay, when we start the work, we need to keep into the in progress status. Okay, after work is completed, we need to keep in the done status. Okay, like this, some status available in the Jira. To do status, when the team lead or team member or managers create the ticket, and the time it is available in the to do status. When we start the work at the time, we need to keep in the in progress status. Once the work is completed, we need to keep in the done status. Okay, some drop down available. We need to open the drop down. It is available in the to do status. Whenever starting the work, we need to switch into the in progress. Once work is completed, we need to keep in the done state. So like this, every day we are going to follow this Jira. Okay, so simply Jira is a work assigning software. Okay, in the Jira, they will assign the work. Okay, and also work assigning software, and also we can call as a bug tracking software. Okay, so main purpose we are going to use for the work assignment. Okay, and also we are having the Postman. Postman is a REST API software. Okay, so it will test the REST APIs. Okay, Postman is a REST API testing software. For example, if you open the Postman, okay, this is the Postman, guys. Okay, if you want to test the REST APIs, So what is the REST API, guys? REST API nothing but one microservices, guys. Okay. For example, if you want to understand the API, I will open one application. Okay. First, you need to understand the what is microservices, what is the API, what is the service. You need to understand. Okay. See here, if you open the online site. Okay. I'm opening my Make My Trip application. So this Make My Trip application having multiple APIs. API nothing but a we can call as a API, we can call as a microservices. Okay. Every like a multiple times we are going to use like we are going to call like a APIs. Okay. Services and microservices. Okay. We can call as a service APIs, we can call as a services, microservices, and we can call as a REST APIs. Okay, all are same name only. Okay, all are same name only. Okay, so see here what is the microservices, what is the REST APIs, what is the service, we'll see here. Okay, see here this is the Make My Trip application. This Make My Trip application is providing multiple features. Okay, multiple features available. We can book the hotels, we can book the trains, we can book the buses, we can book the cabs. Okay, hotel booking functionality is a one REST API, one microservice. Okay, and trains is a one microservice, bus is also one microservice, cabs also one microservice. So first of all, if you want to understand the microservices, you need to understand the monolithic application. Okay, in the interview also they will ask what is the difference between monolithic application and microservice application. Okay, if you want to understand like that one, I will draw some architecture, then you can easily understand. Okay, for example, I am developing the monolithic application. Okay, in the market we can develop any kind of application two ways: monolithic application available, microservice application available. Okay, if you see what is the monolithic application first. Okay, first we will see the monolithic application. See here I am taking some services, some APIs, some microservices. Okay, this is one microservice for the flight booking purpose. I want to develop the flights booking functionality. Okay, similarly I want to book the hotels. Okay, I want to develop the hotels booking functionality. Okay, I have developed the flights booking functionality, and also I have developed the hotels booking functionality. Okay, and also I have developed the trains booking functionality. And also I have developed the buses booking functionality. Okay, so as of now I am taking 4 microservices. Microservice nothing but we can call as APIs, we can call as a REST APIs. Okay, so for example, if we develop every project, every service as a, for example, if we develop all these services in the single project. Okay, these are the services I have developed in the single project. Okay, in one project only, in one project itself, I have developed all the services. Okay, this is one project. If we develop all the functionalities in the single project, that is called as a monolithic application. Okay, any kind of application we can develop two ways: monolithic application. Okay, so this is the monolithic application. If we develop all the functionalities, all the microservices in the single application. Okay, if we develop all the functionality in the single project, that is called as a monolithic application. But in the Java, if we develop all the functionality as a single jar file. Okay, so jar file, this is the jar file. So why I am going to use the jar file here? If you develop all the functionality in the single jar file or single project, that is called as a monolithic application. Why I am calling the jar here? Jar nothing but a Java archive. For example, I am having the birthday. Tomorrow I have a birthday. Okay, so I want to celebrate the birthday. So for that purpose, I want to, like, I will order the cake, right? If you order the cake, so that cake is going to deliver into the box, right? They will take the box, they will deliver into the box, right? So like that, after developing the project, after developing the Java project, how we are going to deliver to the customers? Okay, how we are going to deliver to the customers? So we are going to deliver into the jar format. Okay, so we are going to keep into the jar file our code. Then we are going to deliver to the customers who are having the customers. That's why if you develop all the functionality in the single jar file, if you develop all the functionality in the single jar file, that is called as a monolithic application. Okay, so if you develop the monolithic application, there is having the multiple disadvantages. So that's why every company using the microservices application. So what are the disadvantages available? I will tell some of the disadvantages. For example, whenever booking the train, okay, I want to go from Hyderabad to Delhi. For that purpose, I want to book the ticket. Okay, so whenever booking the ticket, I have paid the 2000 money. I have paid the 2000 money. So money is deducted, but transaction is failed. Okay, my money is deducted, but transaction is failed. So that's why I will give the complaint to the Make My Trip application. This functionality is not working. Okay, this functional train booking functionality is not working. So I have paid 2000 money, but like it is having failure status. So like this, we are going to give the complaints in the Make My Trip application. Okay, after giving the complaint, what they are going to do? So this is the monolithic application. So we need to stop entire application. We need to stop the flights booking functionality, hotels booking, buses booking, and trains booking. All the functionality, entire application we need to stop. Okay, if we stop the entire application, so for example, we are stopping this application 1 hour for checking purpose. Okay, in 1 hour of time, so like some lakhs of people is trying to book the flights, trying to book the hotels, trying to book the buses, but our for the trains booking functionality is not working. We are stopping to the remaining functionality. Okay, so that's why, so multiple customers we are going to lose in 1 hour of time. Okay, for example, there is 1 lakh people are trying to book the ticket for the flights. 1 lakh people see trying to book the hotels. 1 lakh people is going to try book the buses. We are going to lose the 3 lakhs people in 1 hour, right? So that's why, for example, each one they are paying 100 means we are going to lose multiple money, right? Lot of money we are going to lose if we develop our application in the monolithic. Why? Because if you are facing the issue in the trains booking, you need to stop entire application. Okay, for example, if you facing the issue in the flights booking, we need to stop remaining applications also, remaining functionalities also. So that's why, so if you develop monolithic application, there is having the disadvantages. And also, for example, I have developed one feature, like a new feature in the flights booking. When we develop new feature in the flights booking, we need to stop the application. We need to redeploy. We need to deploy into the one mission. Okay, so multiple missions available in the real time, like a dev environment available, SIT environment available. Okay, SIT, EAT, and TP available, prod available, multiple environments available. Each environment having one mission, Linux missions. Okay, so in the real time, we are going to work on the Linux missions every day. Okay, so that's why Linux also very, very important. So after adding new feature in the flights booking functionality, so we need to stop the application. We need to keep this entire code into the mission. Then only we can get into the live. How we are getting live here? How we are getting the live? So after adding into the some feature in the flights, we can open the flights booking. Then we can see that feature. Otherwise, we are not able to see. Okay, so that's why. So there is having some disadvantages in the monolithic application. So that's why every project, every company is moving to the microservice application. So what is the use of microservice application? You will see here. Okay, if you develop flights booking as a one jar file, hotels booking as a hotels booking functionality as a one more jar, trains booking one more jar, buses booking one more jar. Okay, every functionality if you develop separate project. Okay, this is one project. This is first project. This is the second project. This is the third project. This is the fourth project. If you develop all the functionality separately, that is called as a microservice application. Okay, this is one microservices, then second microservice, third one, fourth one. So like this, if you develop all the microservices individually, that is called as a microservice application. Okay, see here. So this is the project one, jar one. Okay, for example, this is the jar one or project one. Okay, so this is the jar one project one. This is the jar two project. This is the jar three or project. You can call. This is the jar four or project. Okay. See here, for example, if we are facing the issue in the buses booking functionality, I'm doing the payment. Okay, at the time we are facing the issue in the buses booking functionality. So whenever facing the issue in the buses booking functionality, no need to stop the remaining functionalities. Why? Because this is separate project, second project, third project. This is the fourth project. We need to stop the fourth project only. Okay, why? Because it is a individual microservices. We can easily stop this one. So remaining functionalities able to work 24/7. Okay, 24/7 hours. Okay, so like this, if you develop all the functionality in a single project, that is called as a monolithic application. So if you develop any application monolithic, there is having some challenges. Okay, why? Because if you're facing the issue, we need to stop entire application. That is the issue, main issue we're facing. So that's why the project development is by using monolithic project development is not recommended. So that's why every company they're using the microservices. Okay, so that's why it is having a lot of advantages in the microservices. Okay, so this is the microservices. Okay, so if you want to test the microservices, okay, if you want to test the microservices like a flights booking functionality is working or not, hotels booking functionality is working or not. Okay, so then we can use the Postman. If you open the Postman, okay, this is the Postman, guys. Okay, for example, we're having the dummy collection in the online. I'm going to take the dummy REST APIs. Okay, we're having backend. From the backend, we are getting some data, fake data. Okay, this is the data, guys. This data is coming from the backend. This is not having the front end. Okay, if after developing the backend here, after developing the backend here. Okay, so after first of all, which layer we need to develop, guys? First we need to develop the backend layer, right? After developing the backend layer, then only we can develop the front end layer. Okay, after developing the backend layer, so if we having user interface, then only we can test, right? Then only we can test which functionality is working, which functionality is not working. For example, this is the front end layer. So I will check. So get like a sign up functionality is working or not, login functionality is working or not. Okay, sign in functionality is working or not. From the user interface, we can easily check, easily test. Okay, so I don't have the user interface, I don't have the front end, but I need to test, is it working as expected or not. Okay, so here also there is having the backend data available, but front end is not available for this. Okay, so if you want to test this backend layer is working or not, okay, backend data is working or not. So this is one REST API, guys. Okay, this is one API. This API is working or not, I want to test. So then we can use the Postman. Okay, we can use the Postman. See here, this is the endpoint, and I'm sending the request. Okay, I'm sending the request. After that, I'm getting the response. Okay, user ID, ID and title and body. Okay, so multiple data we are getting here. Okay, so from the browser also we are getting, from the Postman also getting. Then what is the use of? We can use the browser also, right? If you click like this, from the browser also we are getting, from the Postman also we are getting the data. Then what is the use of Postman? So Postman, if you use the browser, so browsers are going to get the only get endpoint. We are having the multiple endpoints, multiple types of endpoints, like a get available, post available, put available, patch available, delete available, head available, option available. These are the different kinds of request: get request, post request, put request, patch request. Okay, so by using the browser, we can send the only get request. We are not able to send the post, we are not able to send the put, we are not able to send the delete, we are not able to send the another request. Only we can send the get request. Okay, if you want to send the post, put, delete, patch, so those kind of requests, we can use the Postman here. By using the Postman, we can easily test the all the REST APIs. Okay, all the REST APIs we can easily test by using the Postman. So instead of Postman, okay, multiple other tools also available. Okay, instead of Postman, they're having another tools also. Nowadays, some companies are using the Bruno. Okay, so Bruno available. So this is the Bruno for REST API testing purpose. Okay, recently we are using the Bruno also. So like this, we are having the multiple tools. GitHub available. GitHub is also called as a source code repository server. Okay, our code nothing but a source code. Okay, after writing the Java code, right? So that is called as, we are going to call as source code. Okay, not only Java, in the Python also, in the PHP also, any language we are calling as a source code. Not going to call as just a code. Okay. So GitHub is nothing but a source code repository server. Source code repository server. Okay, GitHub is also called as a source code repository server. Okay, and GitHub is a work as any software, bug tracking software. Okay, and also Postman is available and Bruno available. So it will be REST API testing tool. Simply REST APIs testing tool. Are we getting the correct data or not? Or getting the data or not? We can check by using the Postman. Okay, and also we are having the Docker. Docker is a containerization software. Okay, containerization software. Okay, I will explain tomorrow what is the containerization. As of now, you need to remember. So after developing the project, so we are going to keep the jar format, right? Our project is available in the jar format, right? After developing the project, our project is available in the jar format. Okay, this is the jar file. Okay, so this is the microservice file. After developing the project, our project is available in the jar format. Okay, so this jar file we need to keep in the container. Okay, open the Docker container. See here, these are the containers. Okay, Docker is having the ship symbol. Okay, so in this ship, there is having the multiple containers. Okay, multiple containers available. Okay, in the container, we are going to keep our jar into the one container. Okay, so not only one container, based on the request, we are going to increase the container size, we are going to decrease the size. For example, every container is going to handle the 1,000 requests. What is the meaning of request here? For example, if you click like this is one request. If you click again like this is the second request. Okay, for example, one container is going to handle the 1,000 requests. One container is handling the 1,000 requests. Okay, so for example, in the Flipkart, whenever doing the shopping, Okay, so this is the shopping application. We are having, like for example, tomorrow having some big billion days, big billion days available. They given some, multiple offers. Whenever giving the multiple offers, at the time the customers the customer interaction will be increased, right? The customer is going to send the multiple requests. Okay, so for example, in the morning time, there is having the 1 lakh customer. Okay, in the early morning, there is having the 1 lakh. After 1 hour, there is having the 2 lakhs. The size is increasing every hour. Okay, so simply I'm taking the simple data. Okay, so here, for example, I'm having the 10,000 customers. Okay, I have institute application. I'm having the 10,000 application. Okay, if we keep our institute application in one container, like one container is going to handle the 1,000 requests. Okay, one container is can handle the 1,000 requests. If you increase the 1100 or 1200, the performance will be decreased. Okay, so our page is not going to load. Okay, if you use the only one container, so that's why like I'm going to use the 10 containers. Second container, third container. So like this, I'm going to increase the container size, container count. Okay, so like this, I'm going to use the 10 containers for handling the 10,000 or 10K request. Okay, 10,000 request. Request. Okay, so if you want to handle the 10K request, we are going to use the one container is going to handle the 1,000 requests. That's why I'm taking the 1,000 container. So in the real time, auto scaling option available. Auto scale. Okay, whenever container size increases, okay, whenever number of requests is increases, automatically container count will be increased. Okay, for example, if we are getting the 20,000 requests, okay, whenever getting the 20,000 requests, at the time the container will be increased as a 20 container, automatically it will increase. Whenever getting the 15,000 requests, at the time it will take the automatically 15 containers. Okay, auto scaling. Based on the request, it will increase the container count. Based on the request, it will decrease the container count. Okay, so like this, some auto scaling concept available. So in the real time, we need to keep our jar file into the container, then we can access in the live. Otherwise, we are not able to access in the live. Okay, simply as of now, you need to remember Docker is a containerization software. Docker is a containerization software. It is like a container. In the container, we are going to keep our jar files. Simply. So, and also we are having the Kubernetes. It is a orchestration software. It is a orchestration software. Okay, orchestration nothing but arranging the container. Automatically, whenever increasing the count, it will be arrange the container. Whenever decrease the request, it will be arrange the container automatically. That's why it is orchestration software. Orchestration nothing but arranging the container. Whenever getting the more request, it is increase the containers. Whenever getting the less request, it is decreasing the container. So like this, it is going to arrange. Okay. So by default, auto scaling is not available. So when we use the Kubernetes, we are going to use the orchestration. And also we're having the Kafka. We're having the Kafka. Kafka is a message broker. Kafka, we are going to use as a message broker. What is the meaning of message broker? Okay. So it is going to handle the real-time data. It will process the real-time data. What is the real-time data means? Okay. So for example, I have ordered the food. Okay, I have ordered the biryani. Okay, whenever I order the biryani, suddenly the message will go to the portal, right? I'm a customer. Okay, I'm a customer here. Okay, I'm order the food in the hotel. Okay, the request will go to the hotel. Okay, within seconds, the request will go to the hotel. Okay, hotel booking application. After that, so the hotel booking application person, once he confirm, okay, once he confirm, first we are having the customers. Customer is order the food. Okay, after doing the payment, automatically the request will go to the hotel. From the hotel, the request will go to the within seconds. The request will go to the delivery boy. Okay, so the delivery boy is going to come to the hotel. Okay, the delivery boy come to the hotel. Okay, so he will wait until preparing the food. After preparing the food, so within like again, suddenly we are going to get the message. Okay, delivery boy is reached to the hotel. Okay, delivery boy is reached to the hotel, and delivery boy is waiting for the your order. Okay, so delivery boy is coming in the on the way. It will take 5 minutes. It will take 10 minutes. It will take 5 minutes. It will take the 1 minute. So reach to nearby your room. So like this, every time we are going to get the data whenever ordering the food, right? So that is the real-time data, right? So within seconds we are getting the data. Okay, if you want to, okay, if you want to process the real-time data, we are going to use the Kafka. Okay, so if like we can use the databases also, but if you use the databases instead of Kafka, like a databases are the time taking. It will take a lot of time. Okay, so if we are sending the request, it will store the data into the database. It will like there is having some connection mechanism. Connection is having the time taking process. Okay, so that's why they develop the Kafka. Kafka is like a message broker, so it is going to process the real-time data. Okay, real-time data it is going to process. And also we're having the Redis. We will see tomorrow this one. Okay, Redis available, JMeter available, JUnit login. So multiple tools available like this. We'll see that tomorrow. Any doubts, online students?
No, Thiru.
Okay, offline students. Anyone having any doubts? No.